group of tourists find themselves invited to spend the day on a private beach. What was supposed to be a day of rest and relaxation with the family has become a terrifying ordeal as they realize they are aging at a horrific rate. That's what happens when you spend your vacation in the Twilight Zone. Oh, I mean, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, dang.
Today we are reviewing
I did not watch it.
Old.
So
Yeah.
I'm here for the whole deal.
This guy didn't watch it. Jose did, so we'll do a quick take. We don't have a whole lot of time to. We'll just do a
For
quick
shenanigans.
We'll just do a quick take. So we'll just give you the quick premise here. Kind of just did. Family goes to a resort. The dude who runs the resort says, "I like you guys. We're gonna have you stay at our private beach."
A bunch of good guys.
He sends these people to a bunch of what's it called?
To a hidden beach.
To a hidden beach.
Secluded beach.
Yeah, and it's a group of people. So it's like kind of a group of strangers, 12 angry men kind of scenario. People don't know each other.
Yeah.
People all walks of life, that kind of thing. But before he sent them, two things happened that are integral to the plot. One, they all got custom drinks. Like, oh, here's your drink order. Oh, we didn't order any drinks. Oh, this is custom on the house.
Oh.
The other thing that happened was there was a kid who was friends with one of the main kids, whose father was the owner or the head manager of said resort. Okay. And they were friends, and he gave him a code book or like a list of codes for him to break. Right?
Saw that in the trailer.
Yeah. All this was in the trailer. And maybe the third thing, there were just a lot of arm veins. I don't know. Did you notice that? Everyone had really bumping arm veins at the resort. But that had nothing to do with the plot.
That's so weird.
But anyway, old. So they end up at the private beach. Everybody there starts aging. Every 5 seconds is a day, pretty much.
That's a nightmare.
So a lot of these people, they get slashed and it heals immediately. And then people with underlying conditions, it progresses or it changes.
Yeah.
And they notice it, right? Like one dude's nose bleeds a lot. And
It's just like gushing blood.
it's not disgusting blood, but it acts differently.
Yeah.
Right. And then one woman, before they went to the beach, she was having a seizure, and she had seizures like every few days or whatever.
Yeah, she was having a seizure during the resort visit.
Yeah. But she didn't She didn't have seizures at the beach when she was getting older. Old. Right. But anyway, long story short, everybody dies old age.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The movie's name.
Kinda.
Yeah, except for the two kids, they make it to middle age, right?
Well, also there was that one lady who, I guess she did die of old age, but it was very gruesome because her bones were breaking.
Yeah,
and they were healing every time they would break.
She basically turned into a witch because she was like almost like a Paris Hilton type, really skinny, really good looking when she was young. But
she had a back problem.
She was afraid she was going to get scoliosis when she was older or something. She always said sit up straight, and she said at some point that she had a calcium deficiency, so her bones broke really.
That is
her
gross,
bones
man.
broke really easily. So there was a point where she turned into an elderly witch type.
Yeah.
Right.
She reminded me of what's Lord of the Rings, Golem, the other one.
Oh, Gollum. Yeah, it's Gollum.
Okay, yeah.
What other one? Anyway,
well, no, the personalities is what I meant.
Oh,
yeah, so she turned into a golem, but except she kept hurting herself and breaking her bones, and they would heal immediately. Like compound fracture would make it she kept on going.
To glass, I guess.
She was all twisted.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
Another Shyamalan reference.
Exactly.
Maybe it is part of the glass verse.
Oh, God.
The unbreakable verse. But anyway. Yeah. But anyway, so there's only two kids left.
Mm-hmm. The main kids.
Okay. He finally finds time, as they're dying, pretty much they're middle-aged after an entire day, everyone else has died, to look at the code.
Well, finally occurs to him.
It wasn't exactly him. He actually forgot about it, but then he remembered, I haven't decoded this one thing. And the sister tells him, well, why didn't you decode it now?
Okay.
And he's like, oh, okay.
It seems incredibly stupid.
Yeah. So the thing, right. And well, the kids had free time though, especially towards the end when I'm not going to sleep if this is happening. So they had all night. Yeah. It seems like they just took a nap. Yeah. After their parents died, of old age, right?
Yeah. That's terrible.
I
get it though. I take naps all day.
I know, right? But anyway, so that happened. They decoded it and it said,
my uncle hates corals.
Yeah. My uncle hates corals. And every time they tried to swim away, someone would die. because they would like die.
Yeah,
the
in
current
the
would
water.
bring them back, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't climb up because the magnetism would screw them up, right?
That's so weird.
And then they couldn't
They couldn't
climb
go
up
back the
or go
same
back
way.
the same way because they would get pushed back by the magnetism and they
Yeah.
would like go unconscious, right? So they were stuck there. And by the way,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the movie, M. Night Shyamalan thanked you for coming back to the movies.
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan was the bus driver who took them there.
Oh.
And M. Night Shyamalan was the dude on the top of the beach, like all the way at the top of the cove, watching them with his camera set up.
Oh man.
So he was there the whole time.
What a creep.
Yeah, that wasn't even the twist. So anyway, they swim towards the coral, which, by the way, they should have. I feel like what I would have done, because the coral was always there. They should have swam to the coral anyway and like surveyed it.
Yeah.
They never did. They just tried to.
That's what a smart person
Because
would
there's
do.
coral above the water,
and
so you
remember-
can actually stand up there.
Remember that one dude was like, we got to figure out like how to swim like away. And then like later on, like he revealed that he's like the world's fastest swimmer, but only when he was old. You remember?
Yeah, it was funny. He was like, I used to swim in high school.
But he didn't say that like when they were looking for swimmers.
That is the worst.
But anyway, so they find a way to swim through the coral because there's like a opening
hole. Yeah.
in between the coral. So they're even saying like if it's magnetism, maybe we can have something like ground us or something.
Yeah.
And have us go through. And then they do like a whole like, did they make it? Did they not make it? Like, like to be continued moment. Then they cut to Shyamalan at the top. He's like, yeah, they died. They died in the coral. Like,
okay.
and they're like, the coral, like he's redoing back. Yeah, keep doing that.
That was so dumb though, because like the girl's wearing like this. The sister, she's wearing
The
like
fake out was so bad.
something.
She's like, I
it's
gotta
not
go back
even-
for my shirt.
Yeah, it's like this very loose fitting thing.
Yes, I need my-
and it gets caught in the coral, and she's like, I need to take it off, like underwater.
Yeah.
They're freaking out, and I'm just like, why don't you just take it off? Like,
Yeah,
do you
everyone,
need that?
Everyone in the audience is like, just take it off.
Oh Jesus.
And you know what they do when the fake out finally goes?
Yeah.
They take it off because they cut back to show you. But anyway, so the people who run the resort, we're gonna blow your mind now. This is the twist. You guys ready, everybody? I know we don't care about spoilers, but this is the reason you see an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
And I haven't. This is new to me.
Okay.
I'm watching it happen now.
M. Night Shyamalan calls base, right? You got to wait for me to point to you or something. M. Night Shyamalan calls base, and then they cut to the uncle, for the kid's uncle, whatever.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's a scientist. And they found a beach that ages you. And they're testing vaccines and treatments for drugs.
What?
And they find people who have conditions that they want to test their vaccines for. Wait for me to finish the damn sentence. That's why I say point at me.
Over eager Sally over here?
I'm just speeding up with time. That's all it is.
Yeah. And did you ever see Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
You know that scene where they're like, we must thank everyone for dying. You know, thanks everyone for your sacrifice.
I don't really remember that movie.
They had that scene, that exact same scene.
Wow.
Where they're like,
Okay.
thank you to these people for dying. This woman didn't have a seizure. This person's cancer like progressed. But so they were just doing experiments on them because they found a place that ages living cells.
That is
And that's the twist.
so glad I did not pay for this movie.
Yeah. And what happened was somehow the kids, you know, they're like middle-aged people, were able to get around. And when they were kids the previous day, the boy would go and ask people like, what is their name and what was their occupation was. And one of them said, I'm a cop.
Oh.
So he went to the cop and told him what happened. And he found out that like everyone's been missing, and they had a diary from like the last generation when this happened. And they just blew the whole thing out of the water pretty much.
Oh.
So yeah, there was an epilogue where they were on a helicopter, and then the cop was like, "Oh yeah, you guys like really solved like the riddle. You solved the mystery of Scooby-Doo Beach, right?
Scooby-Doo Beach.
Yeah." And Rob Sterling came out. He's like, an ordinary day for these guys. And
What seemed like an ordinary day
it seemed like an ordinary
at
day
the beach.
ended in terror. 2 children, woke up one morning, normal as ever. They would go to bed that night in their middle-aged.
In their parents' pants.
In their parents' pants.
And shirts.
If only they had not entered an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
What's your letter grade for this movie?
I'm going to give it C minus.
Oh, that's a barely recommend.
It is, and to me,
you gotta tell me.
To me, it is an M. Night Shyamalan sequel. It does belong in the Shyamalan verse. It was all in out M. Night
sequel
Shyamalan
to Airbender, huh?
I don't know what it was a sequel to.
So
but
C minus.
It's C minus just because like, you saw it. What the hell am I watching? That's pretty weird. But it was an episode of the Twilight Zone to me, and I
love the Twilight Zone.
I do too. But the Twilight Zone is
it
its
just
thing.
felt too long for a Twilight Zone.
Yes, they could have done half an hour.
Yeah.
And it just once you watch the trailer over again, it's like, oh, that was the whole movie.
Dang. What about you, man?
I liked it.
Now I know.
So while I was watching it reminded me of other stuff as well. It reminded me of Uzumaki. It reminded me of
Lovecraft.
What was that? Bring it
Bless
in.
you.
Bring it
I'm
in.
trying to say it for
No, we need to know.
Uzumaki?
Our
teriyaki?
Our thing.
Gyozas?
Our thing is gyozas are so good. Remember, our structure is letter grade, then your explanation.
No, I gave it a B.
Oh, I can hear it.
I didn't hear it. All I heard was gyozas.
I'm pretty sure I said B.
No, you
okay,
didn't.
so I give it a B because it reminds me of other stuff, and because
What is
it's
this other
also
stuff?
I'm not Shyamalan.
Okay.
Uzumaki, which is a graphic novel,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
and H.P. Lovecraft. Because
What the heck is that?
Lovecraft? How do you not know who Lovecraft is?
I
He's a horror writer. Cthulhu. You know what Cthulhu?
I don't know what that is either. Dude, I'm a
swine.
dad.
We
In my
had
mid-30s,
a discussion.
man. I don't remember this stuff.
No
I don't know this
anime,
stuff.
no
No,
graphic novels.
Cthulhu is not.
I know who Cthulhu is.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Well, it's
Then
kind of like
again, I'm busier elsewhere.
It's like B way before. What was that show? Twilight Zone. Basically, endings that leave you with wait, what's going on? But it's over. So you're just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess we'll never know.
So
Never know.
So B. Okay.
Yeah, a B.
All right.
I'm never doing that with Jose again.
And that was our quick take, Jose.
I try to do it all quick.
All right.
To
Well,
old.
yeah, that was our quick movie review of Old. I know we built it up a lot, but it's okay. It wasn't that great.
Man, we rode that one, right?
like
For
it.
like weeks.
Yeah. I liked it though.
So it's 50-50 from our recommendation.
Yeah. So that is our recommendation of Old, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I'm your host, Mark Rubalcaba, for the Gruesome Twosome, Mr. Abel Pineda, and Jose Rodriguez. We will catch you next time.
Yeah.
Old.
There we go. That movie sucked.